Hey everybody, this is Dream, and today we have a two-game college basketball slate that starts at 3 o'clock. We do have a main slate later, but I'm not sure if I'll have enough time to really do a good detail on that one. So, but I am going to do this slate. I'm also going to do the NBA slate here in just a minute. So let's go and get into this college basketball slate. Hopefully everybody's doing well this week on college basketball. We have been dominating. Yesterday had some good cash games finishes. We also got some good bets in yesterday, so hopefully we have another good day today. For this two-game slate, we do have Wofford versus Oklahoma State and UC San Diego versus California. Both these games have about a 9 to 15 point spread in California Oklahoma State's favors, and then they both are at 145 total points. And for California, Askew is questionable, but he hasn't played in a little while, so he's probably not going to play today. Even if he does, he doesn't affect their rotation all that much. So looking at Wofford here, we got two guys that I like. And one being Tripp here for them. He's played very well throughout the season. He does have some risk because he does have a low floor, but he's got a pretty safe ceiling, and he has some good upside in this matchup, even though that they're not favored to win by uh, 14 points. He has some potential in this one. Bailey has played very well in his 25 to 35 minutes a game this season, and he's got a pretty safe floor considering the fact he's been over 20 fantasy points in a lot of their games. He only needs around 16 fantasy points to pay off here, so he's definitely capable of that in this game. Looking at Oklahoma State, my favorite option is Small here for them. He's played very well throughout the season. He has some good upside, and he's priced really fairly here, though he does have a couple of floor games. I don't really mind that too much. We need 32 fantasy points to pay off here, and he should be able to get in at least the high 20s to right around 30 at the minimum. So this is a great option for this team. Looking at UC San Diego, UC San Diego. Really, the only guy for here is McGee, but he's a great option and a core play for the slate. He's only played one game, but he played well in that first one. I look for him to have another good game, though he is scoring dependent, as he only had one assist in that game. He's got a really safe floor because he's only $4,400, so he only needs 16 to 18 fantasy points to pay off, and so he is a core play. And then for the other core play is Kennedy. At $6,600. He's played in 3 games and he's done really well in those games. He's underpriced for the potential he has here, especially with them favored to win the game by 9 points. And I also like Tyson for California as well, as he has some good potential here. And he's had a pretty good floor, pretty high floor and a high ceiling as well. And so he's just priced pretty fairly for this one. So with California favored to win, I definitely like them. Obviously, that's going to leave 2 forward spots, and this is kind of up for grabs. There's not a whole lot of great value or great options beyond the 6 guys I've mentioned here. So you can kind of mix and match different guys, but I will be having these 6 guys in my lineup, so I figured I'd just show it to you like that. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the NBA slate now. So this NBA slate is 10 games. We have a ton of injuries, as we have been having. So let's go and get into the injury report. For the Jazz, Clarkson and Georgia out. For the Cavs, Garland and Mobley are out. For the Hornets, Ball is out and Williams is doubtful. For the Pacers, Turner is questionable, Smith is questionable, Nimhard is out. Obviously, those injuries would affect some potential value plays. For the Heat, Butler is out and Love is questionable. For the Magic, Ingles is questionable and Fultz is out. For the Timberwolves, they're at full strength. For the 76ers, Covington and Morris are questionable and Batum is out. For the Knicks, Robinson is out and Sims is questionable. For the Nets, Simmons, Walker, and Smith Jr. are out. The Nuggets and Raptors are both at full strength. For the Lakers, LeBron and Davis are questionable. For the Bulls, Levine is out and Craig is out. For the Hawks, Bogdanovich is questionable and Johnson is out. For the Rockets, Thompson is questionable and Tate is questionable. For the Clippers, Paul George is questionable and Plumlee is out. And for the Mavs, Irving, Lively, Green, and Cleaver are out. For the Celtics, Porzingis is questionable. And for the Kings, Lynn is out. So we have a few players that we do like today. There's not a ton of value at this point. Hopefully some more opens up with the injury reports. But my favorite core play is Wendell Carter Jr. He should be back today. We do want to make sure he's not on a minutes limit today, and he does have a tough matchup against Miami, but he is severely underpriced for where he should be. He started the season off a little bit slow, but he has good potential as he was pretty much over 30 fantasy points a lot last year. I expect him to be a popular play today unless more value plays open up. Looking at Julius Randle, he's played very well lately. He has a nice upside game here against Brooklyn, and I expect him to dominate here. He's been very good with the injury situations in New York. With Robinson out, he's really boosted his game and his fantasy points. And as long as he's under $9,000, he's going to be a good option on the slate. So then we'll look at some other options. Joker is in play today. He's had a bad game against Dallas, but I look for that basically just a blowout. He didn't have a double digit in any of the three main statistics, which is kind of shocking. But I expect that's going to change today. He'll probably have three, get close to a triple double, if not have it. So I think he's a great option on the slate. Fred Van Vliet is also in play on this one. He's played very well throughout the season, and he's got some good upside in this matchup against Atlanta, who likes to run the ball. I expect this to be a pace-up game and have a lot of potential for 50-plus fantasy points. He's just actually underpriced for this matchup. He was very close to being a core play as well. Nikola Vucevic also in play here. He's played very well throughout the season, but or inconsistent. Sorry, he's played very well throughout the season. He hasn't been very inconsistent, but his floor, his ceiling has been low most of the season. But with Levine out, his ceiling has risen up some, and as long as he's around $8,000, he's going to be a viable option on a slate like this. Hopefully more value opens up around the league, though. We have a few other options available in Nicholas Claxton, Sadiq Bey, Mikal Bridges for Brooklyn, and Terry Rozier for Charlotte. They all have some upside, but they are pretty pricey on the slate. There's really just not much value today. Everybody seems a little bit overpriced, so that is a concern for the slate. But we do have a few pace-up games like Indiana, Charlotte, and excuse me, and the Lakers in Chicago, and then the Houston and Atlanta game. I think that if you were to stack players from those games, and that's definitely a way you could do this. So with that said, guys, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below, and have a nice day, guys.